This is South Beach, Miami. The South Beach neighborhood of Miami is exactly what you'd expect to see on postcards. From the fine white sands to the colorful buildings, South Beach is a cultural melting pot that's kept warm by the 82-degree average temperature. This is the Front Porch Cafe. The Front Porch Cafe is located on the picturesque and historic Ocean Drive in South Beach. Today, I'm having breakfast with Dana Cowin. For 20 years, Dana Cowin has been Food & Wine's editor-in-chief. Under her leadership, Food & Wine has won numerous awards and attracted an audience of more than 8 million readers. I'm Ben Vaughn. I'm a chef and author. This is The Breakfast Show. Thanks for having breakfast with me.
I love breakfast. I'm happy to be here.
Well, this is my thing. It's a coffee with a shot in it.
Wow.
And to tell you a funny story is...
That's a good plan.
Yeah, it's not bad. But I was at a place the other day in Nashville that I asked for this, and they wouldn't make it for me.
Well, you can just order them separately.
And when they figured out that that's what I was going to do, they wouldn't serve it to me.
Okay, you can name names.
I can't, but I was going to ask you, what do you think about some of the snobby little coffee places that are so proud of what they're doing that they kind of defeat the purpose of serving the customer, right?
Well, I can see both sides, I guess, because on the one hand, hello.
Can I get you with any juice, coffee, Bloody Mary?
I'd love to have a tea.
Hot tea?
Yeah. Do you have mint tea?
We have mint.
Awesome.
Do you want any milk or cream on the side?
Honey on the side.
Honey.
So they have so much love in those beans and so much thought in those machines and so much time training. You kind of understand that they want you to experience it. It's like going to a chef's restaurant and having a tasting menu. You know what? You don't get to choose because the chef is going to show you the best that he's got. So, taking that down to the coffee level might seem really obnoxious and sort of, silly. But on the other hand, it is how the chef prefers.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if you want to get a shot
in your coffee,
it should be okay.
Is it compromising the quality of my coffee to put my shot in my coffee?
It's compromising their vision. But,
I'm still going to ask for it.
And you still should ask for it, and
That's
you still
right.
deserve it. You just, you might have to go somewhere else. Food & Wine has a Best New Chef program,
right?
And we find 10 amazing new chefs a year. And so if you look back 20 years ago and see what those chefs are doing today, it is incredible. They built, we rewarded them because we sat down in the restaurant, we ate their food and said there's something so interesting and so delicious and something on the plate that's going to change the way we think about food. And it's going to, open our minds and our palates. But it turns out that the people who are so good, and some of the people who are so good at changing our mind because of what's on the plate, actually were also going to change dining.
Right.
Not just food, but the way we eat and, the type of restaurant we go to. And that's been really, really exciting to see. Nobu was in the first class of Best New Chefs. It's amazing. Or Danielle Boulou.
For my family and my wife, we kind of take food, especially breakfast, seriously. One, they can learn to cook it without really screwing too much up.
That's so true.
Right? You can scramble an egg or flip your first pancake without breaking anything.
Yeah.
We don't encourage that when we're not home, but it's all induction, so they can't really burn anything down. There's something about Food & Wine also that I notice is that it appeals to the home cook and the professional chef, in where I could see how that could be a fine line to walk without feeling like it's too complicated or too expensive to try at home,
right?
Or it's too lowbrow for the chef to even consider looking through outside of the pretty pictures, or maybe his colleagues are in there at the time.
Right.
But it's really it's something that everyone can use as a reference. Seasonally, I'm looking through Food & Wine to see, is this going to work for this season?
Thank you so much.
Holy cow.
Would you like some jelly, hot sauce, ketchup, more coffee, a foot massage?
The last.
Yeah.
I'm good, thanks.
Hot sauce?
I'm not sure.
And a foot massage.
pedicure.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, you're gonna drink hot sauce. Great. I love hot sauce. The hot sauce moment. That's another thing that's changed so much. Like Americans' love for heat
Yeah.
has grown so much, and Americans' love for sweet. Those two things. Can't get enough hot.
It's the newest. Somebody was talking about honey
Uh-huh.
replacing sriracha.
No way.
Ever. Could it? Live from breakfast, who comes here first? No, absolutely never
I
happening.
feel very strongly about that.
Yeah. So what happens for you for Food and Wine, the festival here? The Wine and Food Festival.
Right. I went to Burger Bash last night, which was great, and then today I'll be in the tents and introducing chefs before they do their demos, and then we have a really great dinner tonight at the Dutch.
Did you have a favorite burger?
I loved Jose Garces' burger. Did you cruise through there?
I was there, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was, I don't know. I wanted to try every burger.
Yes.
Every burger.
Yes.
And I
what
tried
happened?
3.
Okay.
I know.
That's lame. You're a big guy.
I know. I felt like a quitter.
Yeah. How
And
did that happen? I did more than 3.
I tried 3. I had a few that were weird and 1 or 2 that was really good. But the portions were huge.
Yeah.
They need them like the size of like a mint. You can
I
just
think
get
that
all
really-
of the burger. How many did you have?
About 6
6?
bites. You know,
Bites.
Like I'm
Bites of a quarter.
Yeah, bites
Right.
of a quarter. I had 7 pennies. I just.
So you not like I feel compelled to clean my plate every. I'm not a bite. I enjoy every bite,
Yeah.
but I will finish if it's a quarter of a burger and there's 6. I'm gonna go ahead and eat all 6 quarters.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that.
Probably why you're having eggs and a nice piece of toast, and I'm having fried potatoes.
When the thing for Food and Wine that's happening right now that's so exciting is we opened a restaurant.
Wow.
Yeah, it's called Chef's Club by Food and Wine, and it's in the Puck Building in Manhattan.
Yep.
It's a beautiful historic space that David Rockwell outfitted, and we have 4 best new chefs who contribute dishes for a solid year. Yeah, and so we have a home chef who's a chef de cuisine who's super talented, and then Didier Elena, who worked with Ducasse for many years, overseeing the menu to make sure that it all coheres, and so that you, when you're eating there, have no idea that so much has gone into it. But going into a restaurant that's actually sort of your own is amazing. It tunes you into all kinds of nuances that you may or may not notice as a diner, but it's also really exciting to think about what you can do in highlighting talent if you have a restaurant. And
That's a brave move, right? Is it a high standard? Like you're like, this can never
oh yeah,
not be amazing ever, like
yes,
ever.
yes,
Right.
And it always has to be amazing. And also, having done something that's print and digital for so many years, it's the dimensionality of a restaurant and being able to actually feed people and get feedback and then change it.
Wow.
It's amazing.
It's huge. You're trapped on an island. Which chef is it? To forage, cook, and help you set up tent. I mean, you got to set up camp.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Rebuild the Food and Wine on the island. Who are you taking with you?
That's such a good question.
No,
I mean,
not really.
it is because like I want them to be able to fish. I want them to be able to forage. I don't
Right.
want them to be crazy.
And they can't be too heavy set because they'll get tired quickly. You'll be doing all the work, right? So
They
it
need
has
to be
be
like Boy Scouts. They need to be really sweet.
Right.
You know.
Not too old, because before the rescue crew.
That's
Right.
true.
Yeah.
Not too old because
Right.
I don't want to outlive them because that
Right.
would really suck.
Right.
You know, like me on an island trying to catch fish, bad.
The island is sponsored by Wusthof.
I think I'd bring. I'm having a David Kinch moment, but you know he's a good forager. Maybe I'd bring Renee Redzepi. Renee, who has a restaurant in Copenhagen called Noma, he's an excellent forager. He's from a country where there's nothing
Right.
so much of the year, so he can make something out of nothing. When he looks at trees, he sees food. When I look at trees, I see shelter, or so. I think that would be good, assuming
Right.
there's trees. He's surrounded by water, so he must know something about fishing. and he's quite smart and entertaining. So I think I would need someone who could be both a Boy Scout and a good conversationalist. You know, keep
That's
it
a great
interesting.
choice.
And and I think the food would be good.
I'm sure the food would be excellent.
Yeah,
Good company, good food.
good company, exactly.
Sous vide trees.
So smoking pine needles, I think, is
That's
probably more
right.
like it.
Yeah.
What about you?
I would like build a superhuman chef woman. Like
Yes.
I'd take pieces from all of these people. Since this scenario will never play out.
That's right. Okay, so tell me, like, whose arms and whose head you have?
Well, I would want the strength of like an Anne Burrell,
Okay.
right? I would want her strength and stamina and like, you know, she wouldn't let me get away with, you know, being a jerk. She'd smack me if I was out of line. But then the grace and finesse and kind of porcelain-esque Giada, right? I mean, that would be great to live on an island with.
Sure.
Yeah.
She's like sunshine.
I don't know. Maybe fun and
You
witty.
have a lot of demands.
This is the most ridiculous island we've ever built.